And we've got the mic. Ngisho ngithi umuntu ophethe microphone can build or destroy the nation. And sometimes siyesithanda ukuthi kuba ngazuthi inkinga abaculi kuphela. Iculo alinayo iface. Mina ngingahlala lo mfana ubani udlala thukuzini. Angimazi nokuthi unjani ngaze ngimbone. Kodwa ngiyayizwa ingoma yakhe la. Ngoba siyayizwa, you know, iplan. No one hates a song.
Real life ngikuphathele la indoda ey'gqoko ziningi, umuntu ohlonishwayo cishe eSouth Africa nangaphandle. Khuluma la ngomuntu osenze umsebenzi omningi kakhulu endimeni yezokungcebeleka. Siyamazi amagalelo akhe head of strategy lapha e-SABC. Aphinde futhi abe nabaculi abaningi abakhiphe ngaphansi kwenkampani yakhe ayisungula eyaziwa ngokuthi i-native rhythms. La ngikhuluma ngendoda engadingi any introduction kakhulu. Dr. Sithole, Dr. Sipho Sithole. Asikwamukela ohlelweni The Real Life.
Bazi mangibona igama lakho Simamane ungikhumbuza la bantu ababevanga ukuthenga ibox lapha ngakithi emlazi kwa esitolo kwaXhakaza. Bethi ndifuna eliyacuba elifana namabhasa waSimamane. Manje umuntu odayisaya akazi ukuthi amabhasa waSimamane kanjani umbala. Athi hayi man ndifuna elicuba elibani babethanayo. And Anders, ufuna iboxa.
Okubizela Simamane zasishaya leyo.
Ngiyacabanga. No, siyabonga nsizwa kithi ukungimema kulesithanga bile ukuthi sizokhuluma ngendaba ebaleka ngaka yomculo wakithi nabantu abangemva kwawo abaculayo esibaziyo nesingabazi nabangakazala abasazozalwa. Yeah.
Jobe, mina angifuni ukwazi ukuthi uJobe ubani, usuka kephi. But ngifuna ukwazi imfihlo kaJobe yokuthi yini le yenze hleze buke ngathi umfana omncane njalo nje ngiyambuka uJobe akashintshi nje. Yini lo idla uJobe?
Kushuthi mhlambe iloko kuthiwa ngakuthatha egazini labazali. Ngoba nami ngiye ngiyibuze ube ngangenaso certificate sokuzalwa esisho ukuthi ngazalwa ngo1962 18 April ngabe ngithi mhlambe benze mistake. Ngoba kona kahle nje in the next few months in 3 months and 16 or 7 or 15 days I will be 62 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey lo tesikhulile
sesibheka kona kimi. Kodwa inwele semnyama.
Uyazi mina bengisi mhlawumbe uzongitshela ukuthi wakwaJobe ngalomjovo lo wamahasho lapho lobo joke lapha. Labashawuka lemjovo lo thola ukuthi
ngazalwana.
Usegazini lomjovo.
Manje sengifisa ukuthi ngibe nempandla at least kubonakala. Yabona le ngithanda le mpandla le esuka la ithi siyacebezela bese ishinye inwele ngapha eceleni. Engiyifisa kabi lo mpandla. Ukuba impela uyakwazi ukuyijovela ngabe ngiyijovela ngizisuke lezi bese icebezela
kusale lecebezela.
Hayi that thing is
wasezwe nawe manje.
That thing is very artistic. Very artistic.
Ukuthi creator ya creating the artistic lapha.
Bese ngishanga amadlebe impela lawa aseKhakoma akwaZuma lawa lengayo la.
Oh yeah.
Ukuthi noma ngibona mangiqhamuka phesha babotha le ndoda kuma-Afrika lo.
Le ndoda ifundile kodwa futhi le ndoda imumva yayo ayikhohlwa. Uyangisiza kuba manje ukwathinta le yokuthi njengoba umuntu ohamba ngaphakathi eSouth Africa nasemazweni angaphandle kodwa awukhohliwe ukuthi wena ungubani, imvelaphi yakho awuyikhohliwe. Kubaleke ngani Jobe lokho?
Well, I think kubalekena izonke izizwe asihlukile kwabanye abantu. Uma ubheka the English, uyabona ukuthi these are English. Uma ufika in the United Kingdom, the Scottish, they are proud ukuthi bangama-Scottish. The Welsh, the Irish. You can't call an Irish person an English person. They would be very upset. But they know who they are. And you get tested a lot uma usufika phesheya. ngoba ikakhulu mina ngafunda in the US 89 masifika laphana at a predominantly black university. African Americans bayakubuza ukuthi hayi ndoda but thina sifuna ukubona uAfrika kuwe kuze nathi ube isithombe esithi masibheka thina sizibone thina kuwe, but wena ubukeka ngasuthi nje ya westernized. They test you usucabanga ukuthi hey labantu baqinisile. So and kuyakushintsha ke lokho, kushintsha ngisho perspective yakho. Uqale ukuthi usiqayise uqhoshe ngobumvelaphi bakho ngoba ilapho uyakwazi ukuthi ugama phakathi kwezinye izizwe. Manje nawe usungabonakala ukuthi uyisiphi kuba inkinga. I mean amandiya uyawabona amandiya ukuthi this amandiya lawa, the Jews uyawabona, these people ba very clear about
isintu sabo basasibambile.
Yebo.
Ingaba khona imfundo uyithizeke ngemfundo uhlonishwe umhlaba wonke njengoba kwenzeka kuwena njengamanje, kodwa ungakhohlwa ukuthi wena imvelaphi yakho ungubani.
Nesizwe futhi ngeze kuhlonipha uma ufisa ukuba yizo kodwa ungezona ngeze kuhlonipha.
Ithini into ngokuthuthukiswa komculo ke nje mhlambe wakithi la kakhulukazi lo wesintu, ingabe uthuthukiswa ngendlela efanelekile noma mhlambe ukuthuthukiswa kwawo kuya ngokuya kulahla eceleni kulahla umsoco lo wokuthina esiyibona?
Kuya ngokuthi umbuzo wakho ubani efana athuthukisa umculo. I think that's the main question. Ubani responsible ukuthuthukisa umculo? I-artist responsible ukuthi yenze umculo okhuluma ngemvelaphi yabo. Bese kuba i-platform ukuthi ikhona endlo platform. Yabona mina la native rhythms masayini artist ngoba thina siqhayisa kakhulu ngokusana ama-artist asemancane. Mungena la sikusho uba isibongo ubani, hayi no ngulindo kuhle, isibongo ubani, hayi ngwakwanzuza, obani onzuza. Eish siyaqala uyanwa ikhanda manje. Angazi ithakazelo eish uphuma phi? Hayi ngiphume eDeep Kloof. Okay, before Deep Kloof naqhamukapi? So siqala lapho. Ethi awuthi ngifanele uma ngoba ubaba asekho or umalume uzo makambe before Deep Kloof okhokho babesuka kuphi. We get there first bese sithi okay, that is the base from which you write and from which you articulate ngayo izinto eyona. Ngoba if uzoyikha phezulu uzobhala ngani? So thina ke that's why icompany ethi ibiza ngo-native rhythms. Azange sithatha amagama. Native already tells you ukuthi lo muntu lona owendabuko endaweni ethile, ezweni elithile. Rhythms isiqi sakhona sikhombisa ukuthi samsana naleyo ndabuko le, right?
Yeah.
Futhi lokho kuyasiza ngoba ngisho ama-artist eza native rhythms ezawona seyihlungile. Seyihlungile ngoba liyazi ishigama ukuthi ngeke uze la ekhaya uzosana native rhythms wenze igenre ngeke ngisayisho la ngoba angifuni bese kuthiwa ngikubukela phansi amanye ama-genres
ukadla kwezinye izinto.
Yeah. So bafika bevele sebehlungekile kakhulu, you know. Futhi nengqondo isuke ihlungekile. Abantu abasiqajayo ngokuba ilento abayiyona noma bebhala. I mean ubheka kahle siqala koZulu Boy. uZulu Boy uqala ukurapper ngolimi lakithi kungadumile kuseyinto ebukelwa phansi. Ukufika njengoba sekhona ozakwe khona uBig Zulu bonke labo bantu labo if uZulu Boy azange ayiqale eyiqale eGoli language essence language edeep kakhulu ngaba ifikanga kulo mkhakha esiwona manje. So Siphokazi no elanda phansi lekumakhulu elusikisiki impondo, you know, ocamagwini bonke lawo ma-artist efika la ekhaya eza efuna ukuza la ekhaya. Kunenye igroup esuka le eMzimkhulu ekuthiwa uBhaca Soul bafuna ukuza ngoba abaziboni bekwenye indawo, yabo. So kubalekile bese kuba ke sekuthini i-platform. Nansi inkinga esinayo ke manje. Abasakazi ikakhulu laba abasakaza kuma-African language stations, inkinga yabo bafuna ukuba cool at the expense of indigenous music. Yabo, mina ngiye ngilalele, you know, ukuzwa abaculi bayakhuluma, hey kuhamba kanjani lapho ko Max lifestyle ko bani akazabuza ukuthi hey lapha esigodini sangakithi eMbindolo ithini induna lapha bathini obhekeni bensizwe ziyaba umgangela zobe zikuphi phumela umgangela. We all want to relate to the city life and we've got the mic. Ngisho ngithi umuntu ophethe microphone can build or destroy the nation. Is the narrative oyishoyo every time on a microphone a creator what society thinks society is all about. So ingane njalo imizozwa umuntu ekhuluma okhosini FM umsakazi ekhuluma ngezinto ezikhulu zasemalokishini nasemadolobheni kobanibani engakhulumi ngezinto ezikhona emakhaya. Ingane seyifisa na ukuthi nazo sifuna ukusuka emakhaya zize la ngoba njalo zizwa lenkulumo ngathi impilo imnandi. And yet the quality of life isemakhaya kahle kahle.
Yeah.
And uyakwazi ukuthuthuka. Mina buka nje mina much as ngikhulele eMlazi kodwa ekhaya sikusemsinga. Ngilusile mina imbuzi. Angikhulanga ngale ukuthi ngize ngilusi inkomo kodwa ngilusile. Ngiyazazi ngisho ibongele zenkomo yakithi engangiziza zishiwo obhuti bami. Okwakuthiwa ubhokfele. Eyayimnyama igqoke njengawe nje ishaya izimnyama. Yayimnyama le nkunzi imise kahle impondo. Esithi masiya naye ediphini sithi ozuyidedela umahlabe ehlangene ujikijela phuce njengentolwane into ekhamisa ngena amaphikini amafosholo bathi intombi edela ukudesa amasoko bafana kuthana amadoda phela yabona ngayifunda lonto ngino 9
yeah
uyikhuba inkoma uya nazo ediphini uthi mayiqhamuka imhlambi yakwasithola eqhamuka imhlambi yakuleya muzi nangapha ziyothi mayihlangana lapha bese uyikhiphe yakho ushishunusele ngeyebonkolo isiyaphanda lapha iyaphanda lapha yabo. Into esayifunda leze emakhaya asakhulumi ngazo ngoba thina masilapha siphethe iradio lapha singama presenter sicabanga ukuthi le nto is not cool.
Yeah.
Ukubabuza ukuthi bafana izinsaye ediphini ithini ubani wangifonela manje asho ibongele zenkunzi yakubo.
I say
so yonke lento ngibuzana it's there that's the problem.
Yeah, I say
who is supposed to do it? That was what I asked. Who is supposed to? All of us, yeah.
Yini eyenza ukuthi abaculi ngempela sithole abantu abaningi beyithola besenkingeni banamakhono labantu kodwa egcineni impilo yabo bukeke ngathi ihamba ibe nezinkinga ezinkulu akusakwazi ukwenzeka izinto kubona kwenzekani?
Asiqale ngokuthi ekutheni i-showbiz is a public space, right? And sometimes siyesithanda ukuthi kuba ngazuthi inkinga abaculi kuphela. Inkinga zikapho wonke umuntu emhlabeni ukuthi labo bana bakwi public. Yabo, so they have an advantage ukuthi if something happens to them everyone gets to know ukuthi kwenzekeni. But kunabantu abaningi who are facing same problems. Kuneyingane lana ezinama degrees ezingaze uthola umsebenzi ezafundiswa ogogo bazo ngemali yempesheni or benetafula lapha eBerry station ezingaze uthola umsebenzi esigcina nazo sezingena kwi mental illness ne depression ngoba sinako lokho ezikuphethe kodwa azikwazi ukuthi lento ilethi iplate etafuleni. So kona kukho wrong ukuthi sisebenzise indima le yomculo to address a bigger social ill ngoba iyona indima le yomculo enza ukuthi abantu basheshe balalele masinya, right? But lasiqale nje la ungena kanjani emculweni? Ungena emculweni ngoba uchoose ukuthi wena awufuni 8 to 5 job ngoba kunaleli talent la kuwe ofuna liziwe umhlaba wonke owanikwa uNkulunkulu namadlozi akini. So uchoose esikhathi esiningi uma usubuze ngabazali ukuthi wena uyafisa ningane yakhe bomculo akhona yodwa umzali zethu ufisa ingane yakhe bomculo ngoba thina sazi ukuthi uvuka ekseni uyongena efemini usebenza uhole ngesonto or ngenyanga une salary guaranteed. Manje uyangena la le ndawo lena i-congested kakhulu ine talent elingafani elihlukile futhi kodwa wonke umuntu talented differently, right? Ungeneke wena Sometimes ngiye ngisho ngithi mina abanye bangena ngoba bebona ku-TV ukuthi awusekhona usikomoda hayi should nami phela hayi ngingangena nami okhona ubani uShebek khona lo mfana ethi uShebek sona malokhu right yeah should nami ngingangena ungazibuzanga ukuthi wena ungenelani ungena ngoba ubone abantu ku-TV na ku-social media or ungena ngoba unaleli fufu selanga phakathi leli talent uma ungena ke i-research will tell you ukuthi 2 out of 10 artists in a record company are successful. That's why there's no money in the record business. Much as people will think ukuthi ama record companies enza imali export ama artist. Usana ama artists awu 10, awu 80 wanathatha yonke imali ayidraina. Kusale 2. The problem that you never know which one is the 2. So you keep signing. Ukuthi lipi lo kulo 2 ozoba lokuzi. As you keep signing ama artists awenzeki lutho lokuzi. But isikhathi esiningi where the problems ama artists start is usungenile ke emculweni. Ucabanga ukuthi ingoma yakhe iyashisa phela. Kodwa ayidlalwa emculweni. Ayidlalwa kwi-radio abantu emsakazweni ayidlalwa and awubhukhwa ugcina nawe usunale kwi-doubt ukuthi what's wrong with me. Mina I can tell you one thing. Iculo alinayo iface. Mina ngingahlala lo mfana ubani udlala Thukzini. Angimazi nokuthi unjani ngaze ngimbone. Kodwa ngiyayizwa ingoma yakhe la. Ngoba siyayizwa, you know, iplan. No one hates a song. Akekho umuntu ozothi ngiyayizonda ingoma. Or akekho umuntu ozothi ngizonda iartist, angibeke kanjalo. Abantu bathanda ingoma, abanandaba ukuthi yenziwe ubani. So uthola ukuthi athi hayi mina abantu abafuna ungidlala emsakazweni should bangivayela ngaphandle. Ayikho i-radio station engafuna ukuba ne-hit idlale kwi-radio yakhona. So uma usubona ukuthi hayi angathi amathuba awenzeki usuqala manje ukungena kule nto ekuthiwa i-depression. Ngoba iy'ngoma ziyaphuma ukhipha single after single, single after single ayitholi airplay. Uyabona ama-poster nanka ama-poster laphana kudle kuzobe kuperform so and so no so and so no so and so alikhe lakhe igama lakhe. Awubizwa umuntu. I-record company ne-management ilokhu ibheka kukhalince ukuthi kuzothiwa isicela ukubhuka so and so. Awubizwa umuntu. And awazi ukuthi yini. Ungene kulezi inkinga lezi esesiyibona namhlanje.
Mhlawumbe yini inkinga Job?
It's the nature of the industry. Not everybody in the industry uzophumelela. Some will, some won't. And some will get your attention, some won't get your attention. And in some cases uthola ukuthi ulalela ingoma uyi-artist, uyazi yakhe ingoma iyashisa, udla kudlala ingoma kwi-radio station, le ngoma ayisondeli nakancane engomeni yami. Why yona idlala, right? So there is akho abantu abahlala phansi kwesihlahla bethi decide ukuthi sivalele lo so and so ngaphandle sivulele lo akekho umuntu wenza.
But what about this thing ehlezi shuwa abantu le yokuthi kunalento yokuthi bayibiza ngani ipayola?
Ipayola?
Yeah.
Yabona mina we've had this company since 1998 Native Rhythms. Qala ukurekhoda ngo-2006. Mina nje nguSipho Sithole. Angaze ngicele umuntu indaba yepayola. Angaze ngi-offerishe umuntu ipayola. Ngiyayazi ngizokuthiwa ikhona leyo nto, right? Mina kuney'ngoma lana zama-artist ami ezingaze zidlale eredweni. Uyisubmit isiqeda ukuyenza la. Bangifonele amakhompani baba Sithole siyakuhlonipha kodwa hayi le ngoma hayi lena asizwa kahle. You just go back to a studio and you try again. Wenzenye and we keep trying. Even music videos we've shot have never been seen on TV. Ngoba creative space is competitive by nature. Khona manje you've got your podcast. There are other podcasts. You wonder hey, why le podcast inama followers amaningi kangaka ngoba nami story sami narrative yami right. It's just what it is, right? Now where it becomes a problem is when the artist icabanga ukuthi make ngafika Native Rhythms ngasayina nga-release album. Shuthi yadlalwa kanye eradweni senginemali. I-record company sing oyisha imali. or i-record lami alidayiswanga because i-record company ayizange i-promote.
Azange ngipromote enough.
Awufikanga nesikhwama la sigcwele imali esithi nansi imali ngicela ningirekhode nansi imali yokurekhoda neyokupromota nani. Ufike ne-talent which we appreciate. And thina umsebenzi wethu ukuthi silithathe le talent silirekhode silimolde silimarket. So the first thing that happens, urisk imali yakho as a record company and hope ukuthi le artist izoyibuyisa le mali. Right? Ayikho i-record company engaspenda. Buka le studio lesi. This studio is more than R1 million, the studio. Ayikho i-record company enga-investor in a facility like this, sign ama-artists to lose money. Usign ama-artist, firstly to hope ukuthi nabo they will see value in themselves. One thing that we say as native rhythms, and I want you to uyizwe kahle, must sign artists like her. Sitshela kahle. Asikusayini thina ukuthi udayisa ama-record. Sikusanele ukuthi udocumente i-history of our narrative as South Africans, as Africans, and as whoever, if you are Zulu or Xhosa, as whoever you are. Ngoba once usurekhodile la, that thing no one can ever erase it. Uyohlala a recorded artist. If it so happens that you make money through your album, we are the first ones to be so happy ngoba it means our investment is izoyibuyisa. Why sihlale sikusho lokho? Asifuni artist ifeel ukuthi under pressure ukuthi ibuyise imali yethu through success and everything. Sifuni artist ifeel ukuthi sengibhala incwadi ngumbhali wencwadi isipublishiwe boyifunda abayifundayo kodwa akekho ngayidabula ethi ayisekho lo ncwadi. I-record is exactly the same thing, right? So we give them that confidence, you know. Ngoba sifuna ama-artists abe focused with creator wena, and then if something happens, right? Now ama-artists amaningi azothi hayi mina ngarojwa i-record company ngoba ayizange ngipromote. That cannot be true. Ayikho i-record company engasayini i-artist ifake imali yayo. Thina besirecord ama-artists back in the day when it was too expensive to record, where everything was live. You would spend no less than 150,000 rand to record the album. No less than 250,000, a $250,000 during the duration of that album in marketing. Remember at that time, being a social media. So no one is going to know about the soil through social media. There was no Instagram, there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter. You had, let's talk about Obo Zulu Boy, for instance, back then. You have to take the artist to a record shop. Go to my in-store promos. In-store promos, gold in-store promos, Tegwini, Eastern Cape, Cape Town. Wamba ne promotions officer as a company. Get driver, get book, get flag, enjoy yonke lento. Iyakuma radio stations. Nifika lapha na Eastern Cape fanele lapha emhlobo yokhuma no KC ongasekho nayo seshoni. Isuke endaweni ethile yokhuma no bani. Isuke lapho fanele nishoot video. Uthembele ukuthi izoyidlala iSABC 1 le video. Remember mayidlalile, it's not going to play it every weekend, but there are many other videos.
So efanele sonke lesi sikhathi lesi kwenzeka lento njoba usho ama cost lawa. Yonke lento inyukela native rhythms.
Yeah.
But i-artist aweka ngakanani ngokuthi njoba senza kanjena nje as native rhythms. Singasakhuluma ukuthi ngibhekisa native rhythms but
yeah, it's fine.
Njoba senza kanjena nje azi ukuthi lento yakho yonke isisikhoste imali mhlambe over R1 million. Si promoter wena, si recorder wena, senza yonke into ekwenza wena ukuthi ubonakala. So ma kwenzeka ukuthi uyaphumelela le mali vele ufuna ibe nendlela yokubuya ayibi ngayidlela.
That's another thing funny see correct in South Africa, right? Akufani nase-America. eSouth Africa i-record company yona ethatha i-risk ukusayina i-record i-market artist. Awudeduct imali before ukhokhela ama-artists ama-royalties. Let's say you have spent 100,000 rands on recording and promoting an artist. I'm just doing a clear figure. Ibisiyadayisa i-artist. Awuqala udeduct imali 100,000 or recording i-artist before ukhokhela ama-royalties. We kokela ama royalties on gross sales, of course, minus deductions, let's say, discounts that we used to give to trade, you know. So, America, yonke into is deducted against your future royalties. Ufuna ukushoot video with naked girls on Miami Beach on the boat. It's going to cost $250,000 to do that. The first time you die, sabaqala bakhiphe lowo mali le. So I deduct lokho. And also asibaliseli artist ukuthi hey usibona nje sesispend imali engaka ngawo. We don't do that.
But singabe bonke yini bayayenza lento njengoba ikanjalo, because that's where i problem ye depression kwesinye isikhathi iqalisa khona kuma artists, because uthola ukuthi mangabe sebekhuluma abanye mabechaza lezi zinto athi umuntu mina kufuna ngabe benemali engiyithole ngibonile mina album yami ithengisile angazi makwenziwa ama platinum kusuke kunjani bese kube ukuthi umuntu uzokutshela ukuthi la ngenze over 5 million ngiyalinganisa, but i-company inginikeze 500,000 kuphela.
Usuke uyibulele imali. 500,000 usuke uyibulele. And
mana ke dokotela uyibulele kanjani imali i-company yenze 5 million wena uzokunika 500,000?
Asibeke kanje. Uma usayine artist on royalties, right? Percentage. Let's say it's 10, 15, 20%. That is what is in the agreement. Remember, ngeke we sign awani uzwenza 5 million or uzwenza nothing, you know? You owe the artist le mali enivumelane ngayo kwi contract. As long as the contract is fair, it's a risk. That is your business. That is the business that you are running. You owe that artist imali enivumelane ngayo kwi contract. If lo mali ibuyile, kufanele uyikhokhele lo artist. But ngeke ubuso uthi i-company yenza imali engaka sengifuna lo mali. That's not a business, and that's not even a correct assumption or allegation, because companies will show you ukuthi in most cases, remember I did say to you ukuthi we signed 10 artists, only 2 artists are successful. Lo 5 million, why do you think ushonephi?
Suppose la amanye 8.
Oh, yeah, now 8, right?
Yeah.
And also kune company la, ine staff, inanani, iyaholela kune rent kuna. By the time a company declare profit on that album, what you know 5 million, maybe it's 20% profit, 15% profit. Yonke imali has gone to ama overheads.
Sure.
Ubani okhokhela ama engineers nokudla ngoba phela i-artist mifika izo record ukudla kuthengwa i-company. Mhlambe kune team la kune engineer kune producer kunama abantu abadlala music bonke lawo masona bakhokhela yonke lo mali lokhu. So yes, you can be very lucky as a record company. I-album ivele when's ama millions? Definitely. That is just what the investment benefits from that. But it does not mean with low mali now belongs to the artist. The artist gets in mali according to the contract. What you can say is the contract fair? Do you sign an artist for 8% or do you sign an artist for 25% or whatever? Ama royalties, you know. That is what it is. We know, for instance, ukuthi back in the days, they were single digits, ama royalties, or 6%, you know, at that time. They were singing. But I would use an example, for instance. Uzokuthiwa mhlambe ake sithi nje Soul Brothers sold 3 million copies. They call that thing all-time sales. Or let's say ivula indlela yeah. It's called all-time sales. It means from the time it was released, for the duration of its popularity, it sold 1 million copies, if it's 1 million copies. But the first big number of copies I see is at the time of its release. The first 6 months or 12 months. After that, say kwa. That's why nasi into ebalekile kuthi i-artist kwenzeke kanjani i-artist ishone ingasenamali. Possible, and it will happen, and you know why. Ngithe i-artist ayinayo 8 to 5 job. So ayinayo monthly salary over 12 months. Uzofika urelease album now ngoJanuary. It should. Ikhokhele in 6 months time 500,000. That's big money. 7 months, 12 months, 18 months. Iyaqala ishona phansi.
Okay, Job, ngesikhathi ukukhokhela this 500,000 iyaqala lifestyle nakweni iyashintsha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, exactly, right.
Okay.
Khokhele 500,000 ngoba the first few months of i-release album idayisa kakhulu. So imali izongena ithi kharakata ingene kuwena. But because awunayo i-guaranteed income, that's not money ezokulasta for 10 years, not even for a year or 2 years. So ungashona after 2 years bese bethi how but ishone iphi imali ye-artist. It's because now you can't survive on 500,000 over the next 2 years. After that isidayisa 10 copies, isingena kancane uthola 1,000 rand ama-royalties. Le mali lena kade una uyisebenzisile ngey'dingo zakho.
Unesikweletu seLamborghini esingakapheli.
Uney'dingo zakho yonke into izophela leyo mali. The music business is a risk. It's natural, it's just a risk ngoba ayinayo i-steady income. You might get imali eningi bese iyaphela. Bese uthiwa uyakhumbula le artist yayidumile. For sure yayidumile, but sadlula isikhathi sayo nemali yayinayo. Noma kuthiwa ngempela ungoqo udla isinto esibrown nobisi. Izogcina iphelile leyo mali. Bese kublamewa i-record company. I-record company ayigcina imali yakho uthi hayi nayo imali yakho engisakubekela yona for the next 20 years. Every time kukhona imali it must pay ngoba it must pay twice a year. Every 6 months it must pay royalties if there is money. If ingekho, then you also make money from airplay. That's where the money is. But not as an artist, as a composer. Ngoba you can compose a song and not sing the song. I just wanna live my life, la ni na ni na. Yakhumala lo ngoma ka Winnie Khumalo. That's a zonke Dikana song. She can sing, it can be played many times on radio, 1,000 times. The royalties are gonna go to the composer.
To the composer, yeah.
Bese thiwa but ingoma yakhe ayidlala emculweni. Ubani wayicomposer? Somebody is not gonna pay the singer, it's gonna pay the
typical example. Umandoza.
Yeah.
Galagata.
Kebi Leroux composed that song. I'm not sure what is the place. Let me not lie because the words could not have been composed by Kebi Leroux. We may have composed you may have composed the music. So the lyrics come from Umandoza. So Umandoza did benefit for over a period of time. He wrote the lyrics. Nasi ngoma ka unathi wethembisile wena ngesi ibhalwe yimi lo ngoma. Music and lyrics, word for word, melody, chorus, everything. Ngayicula ngamnika ama guide vocals wafika e-studio wacula ngakhipha my voice. Every time that song is played on radio so no one is going to say but ulendo shuthi kalawa yamropa because ingoma yakhe wethembisile ayidlala kakhulu on radio. No,
but totally a question ile ingabe lama artist lawa ke esikhuluma ngawe manje ngabe yonke le process le bayayazi yini?
Mina ke bengine whiteboard lapha i-office la ngaphansi kwale studio. Masayini artist sidrawa yonke lethu, the flow of royalties, imali iqhamuka ngakuphi, imali ishona ngakuphi, yiphi ya kwi-artist, yiphi engakwi-artist, sinike ne-contract, nansi contract hamba nayo uyoyifunda kodwa ucela abamele bakubhekele yona. Musu ready uclear ngayo ukuze uzoyisayina. Uma ungekho clear ubuze nakuthina futhi yabo. They are supposed to know that. They need to know what belongs to them and what doesn't belong to them. But I want to emphasize le ndaba yokuthi ayikho i-artist engathi yenza imali this year. We expect low mali sekhona the next 3, 4, 5 years. Ngoba this thing is like this. Where the money is shows. You can make a lot of money from one single. Dala Tugzin, iPlan, or Paris, Igogama, whatever. One song.
Bookings, imagine.
Bookings, right? The question is how do you use that money? Ngoba uyazi ukuthi elongoma izo replaced by another artist.
But then
18 months later.
Involvement of company like my bookings zona ikanjani?
Well, there's two different things. There's a record company, then there's a management. The record company might decide not to be involved in artist bookings. They'll just record the artist by release and hope that album is gonna sell benze imali yabo. Bese kuba khona i-management. I-management iyona ke ongathi makuthiwa ke uyablame ukuthi i-artist ngoba you're supposed to manage even the lifestyle of the artist.
Ikhona management dokotela.
Let's use native rhythms for instance.
Okay.
Native rhythms does not sign i-artist engezokuyi-manage.
Oh, okay.
Clear ngaleyo. You know why? Because there's no CD here. That's what is it. This is a I call it a CV. So masik sign a sig recorder. Uphuma ne CV. You are known for this album. The album might sell 1,000 units, but from a song that people like, you might do 100 shows a year. Now imagine I've spent 250,000 rand recording this album, and then I take this CV to another management company. You want to book an artist based on the CV I made for the artist. That's why we say, Tina, we don't sign an artist, we don't manage. But there's no money in record sales, much as people think there's money in record sales. Money is in bookings. And Tina, we don't take more than 20% of bookings. So there's a show, it's 100,000 rands, we take our 20%, that's 20,000. But what do? We make sure that the artist is prepared for shows, the artist understands the music industry, is disciplined, is professional, is reliable, and performs as per the expectations of a client.
So, unegotiatela artist yakho kuma promoters labo owiwona enza these shows and make sure ukuthi artist yakho is like taken care of ngendlela right.
So tshela ukuthi i-hospitality rider, the artist backstage sifuna amanzi abandayo, sifuna sparkling or still water, sifuna ukudla okunjena kanjena, bangaki i-traveling team, balala in what kind of hotel, the promoter must pay, and they must pay for a transport. If it's 3 hours from here, they must also get allowances on the road to from here to the Free State. And remember the artists mhlawumbe no Kama stage fana bathenge Coca-Cola, so kunama what we call per diems per member of the art traveling crew. That is what the art. And then we also go and look for shows, we pitch them elsewhere, my clients that we have worked with in the past. If we have worked with clients, let's say we're working with clients 10 years ago, we remember those clients during difficult times. Hey, we have new artists, kanje. So we also talk about the business. Let me use an example. When we had Sipho here, there's a time when she was, I hope Isar is not listening, when she was making lots of money, right? And I would say to Sipho, I know, Sipho was the first artist who said, mkhulu, ningangikhokheli mina every time angikeda perform a show. Ngikhokhele on the 7th of the following month for the shows of the previous month. So I know how much money we are putting into her account on the 7th of each month. And I used to say to her, Sipho, it's very important to me that mangikufonela ngomhla ka-15, tell me that you still have at least 500,000 in your bank account. But that money might not be there in 5 years' time. And I did that religiously until she left Native. I said, I'm cool. I've got 300 in my account. So we tell them artists, prepare for the future that is unknown, a very difficult future in this industry. So that is what the management does. Also management negotiate deals. Tomorrow you get a call, somebody taught, I want this artist to be the face of it, and then we negotiate. What does it mean? For how long? Will this thing be on social media? Will it be on YouTube? Will it be on TV? What is the package? Nazi package, they say it's a R1 million package. We take our 20%. We are not greedy,
Mangabi artist, naku usuwenze umsebenzi omuhle, niyali-guide, niyalitshengisa, niyalifundisa ukuthi kufanele iphathe kanjani. Bese kuba khona i-behavior nje yomuntu nje. Ayizalelwe nayo.
Hayi khohlwa into yabona ukusenza nama-artist fanele ube yabona ikishayela uyibona ukuthi lengane le artist iyafika lana Nkosi yami ingenalutho. Hayi yachomela ke manje. Isikikhuluma nje ubothi yabona manje ayisiyachonyelwa ke manje lana.
Awuselutho.
Siyenzeka. People are human beings. But the other thing that we tell our artists, Tina, never ever feel ukuthi you owe native rhythms or ubaba uSithole or umama uSithole anything. There will be a time when you will feel ukuthi sengifuna ukuhamba a native. Do that ngoba the worst thing that could happen is ukuhlala ngoba usaba ukuphoxa thina. Akuyona impilo. Na kwi marriage, if marriage is bad, we can't sit there phuma.
Ngiyabona futhi toxic kakhulu.
Yeah, uphuma. So siyawatshela ama artists ukuthi there's going to be a time when you feel like you have outgrown this company, you want to do things on your own, and it has happened. We've never had a bad vibe namatis esehambile. Some of them, they are still our kids, like whether Abo Zulupo, Abo Zakwe, Kamagwini, Uncle artist, they still look up to us and they will call us, you know. But we important with the artists must never feel indebted. Unje wenziwa yimi. You know, khona ingoma emnandi kaKhuzani ethi ukusiza umuntu ngokuzobe sethi umbone nje ngoba waziwa yini. You must listen to that song. It's a very nice song. Mhlawumbe uzoyidlala la if uthola permission you podcast yakho. Maybe it's just the chorus.
Imele idlaliwe.
Yeah. Izoyizwa. Yeah. Akufanele umuntu afile kanjalo. Awunimbona nje wenziwa native rhythms. No. But it's about how you manage yourself. And the other thing that ends ama artists ukuthi aphume kuba i-flavor of the month of the society. When people can begin to feel so arrogant. Usufika late kuma interviews. They are no longer honoring my interviews. They are no longer important to you, right? And my shows are prepared properly. The way it goes around, you get booked and booked less, and guess who gets affected? Management. We rely on these artists to make our 20% so that we can earn the little income that we can earn. We survive on 20% income of the artist's life.
Artist lithi sengibhukho kakhulu ngihambe kakhulu nje bade ku December njena ama bookings mhlambe artist lilodwa mhlambe esikhathini esingangosuku awu4 awu3 enyangeni ke lapho noma kuthi kuphela inyanga lo muntu uzobe ehamba indawo engakanani bese hayi angishayile into zami mina ukuze ngibe ne-energy iyenzeka lento le. Abantu bagcina bethola izinto ezibaboostayo isupportwa kangakanani lento le.
Mina luckily we've not had that experience in this company because the company is called Native Rhythms. So we've never had artists that are reliant or are doing drugs. We don't know that. We read about it. Ngiyabona mina njengoba ngizoba na 62 nje ngo April 18. I've never seen drugs mina with my own eyes. Angwazi ukuthi thina besikhule elokishini sithunya insango ibhenya wobhuti abadala. Ehamba uthenga insango laphana bayibhemela insango nje. Lento kuza kuthiwa khona heroin no mandrax no cocaine none asiyazi thina la. Nala native rhythms asiyazi. It is about the strong will. Mina ngaze ngiphuze Red Bull. I've got energy nje. Ngine energy enzima kakhulu. I don't know what is an energy booster. I don't drink energy drinks, you know. So I want to ngikhathele maybe. I don't know what what happens. I work natural. I work until 2 a.m.
Out in game 5.
Ngilale ngo 2 a.m. namhlanje.
Yeah.
That's what I do throughout my life. So I understand ukuthi masebela I am not going to help people justify their drug addiction. I will not do that. Good, it's because they are working hard. There are great artists like Sipho Sithole who are performing until today. Basuka la kade eseSwaziland maqeda yo performance enethile basuka lapho eLesotho.
Bahlonipha imizimba yabo.
Yebo.
Ahloniphe nomsebenzi wakhe awenza ngamanye amazwi lento yokuthi umuntu athi ngenxa yokuthi ngiperforma kakhulu umzimba wami uyakhathala ngithola into ezonginika amandla ukuze ngikwazi ukuhamba ubusuku nemini ichoice yomuntu.
Ngibona enye celebrity engihlonipha kakhulu sihlele laphana bamfaka ama drips it's been a hard festive season. How do you put foreign things onto your body? Ongazi understand ukuthi zakhiwe ngani zizokwenzani lapho. You must be brave. You must be really, really brave to put a needle with some juices coming into you because ukhathalelala.
Aka-check-iwe even i-blood pressure yakhe ukuthi ikanjani. Next thing ufaka lento lena.
Yeah, this drips is very
pressure, shawa i-stroke.
Angazi mina kwenzekeni ngabantu bakithi. Angazi kwenzekeni ngabantu bakithi. To insert things here. Ngoba uthi ukade ugijima wenza ama-shows awu-4 awu-5. Why do you take them? If you are disciplined, say, I will do 3. And nakhona, if they are not 5 hours apart, that's why then they end up, engozini, umuntu ujahele gig, ikakhulu DJ ugaji ujahele nale uyasuka lapho uyalapha endaweni ethile. Then the next thing doesn't honor the 4th one. Ngoba you are not in control of the stage management la uyakhona at your next gig.
Like they always say, like uma-gamblers, but winners know when to stop. Kahle kahle nama-artists, they need to know when to stop. Mhlawumbe mangabe kuza kuma-bookings. Athi umuntu, okay, my manager, I can take 3. I cannot take more than 3. As much as ngiyifuna imali, but life yami comes first.
Lalela, uzothi, I no, vele ngiyazi ukuthi ngisekahiso ngo-9, and then after that, nginenye gig ngo-10, eKatlehong, and then enye ngo-12 eThembisa, so I can cover them. Uyafika lapha nisho is running 2 hours behind. Yeah, good lapho, do you know where I am? Is my God, hey, wait, I'm sorry, kunama-artists are delayed now, bafuna ukungena la stage. Uthi hayi but yami ngo-9 ithi artist lalela la mfethu thina lasifikela I was supposed to be here on stage at 7. Ngena mina manje ngoba this thing is running late, so you wait. Uyafika lapha nusu late asay show. Ngoba you can't do it. It's not possible.
Jobe asibile emuva kancane futhi sibile kule ndaba le yama contract. Kusuke kwenzekani noma mhlawumbe into efanele mayenzeke yini uze umuntu ezokutshela ukuthi i-company ithe kufanele ngize ngiqede u3 years ngikuyona. Nilo 3 years kufanele ngibe senginama album esengwakhiphile mhlawumbe awu5. Into enjalo ikhona mangabe ikhona isuke ibangelwa yini?
No, it's very simple. There's nothing wrong with that. Umu sign artist back then, we will sign artists on one album. It's called one album plus options. The options is option albums. Let's use an example, a simple one. One album plus 2 options. Basically, we are saying I'm signing you for 3 albums, but I'm signing you for 1. And as a record company, ngiphoqelekile ukuthi le album yokuqala ngi-release within 18 months after ngisigning. If I release within 18 months, mina as an artist, I am legally correct to leave. But we have not honored the terms of the agreement, right? So you can't hold the artist from leaving if you have not released the album in 18 months. 2 options. It will then say thereafter, after 12 months, I will have an option to release another album. And then after 12 months, another album. Either after 18 months or whatever, another album. So that is 3 albums. But why do we call it options? The record company has an option not to honor the other 2 albums, depending on how the first album performed. But the artist does not have that option. So you might say, oh, it's not fair. How is it that the artist, can't say, I no longer want to record the next album? Why? The person who is risking the album is the record company. So if the record company has put $250,000 on the first album, and then it didn't happen, the record company can decide not to take another chance. Some might say, I'm going to take another chance. I still believe that we can do it again. So they exercise the second option, the first option, which is the second album. If it doesn't happen, they might decide, we are no longer doing the second option, which is supposed to be the third album. Why is it that the artist cannot do that? It's because the artist, if we allow the artist to exercise the option, we are basically saying, me as a record company, I can spend $250,000. You are successful on the first album. Then you turn around with Suti, I am something. Thank you, but no thanks. I know you did very well. You spend imali yenu. but manje sengi-successful with my album angisandingi. Ngoba kune-termination clause. Under what circumstances can this agreement be terminated? And I can tell you, if the artist has got good enough reason to want to bail out, then it will be there. They will say, you remember this and this and this and this, I want to go. So you can't then say, no. Legally you cannot, only us can tell you that. So it will depend. Sikhuluma ngani.
So important when understand the story sakho, nami understand the story sami.
Yeah. I think the whole thing that we are esikhuluma la, ayikho i-record company engariska imali yayo to lose it.
Because base businessini.
Ngoba ibona abayifakile lo mali. So why will i-record company ngenhloso ikusayine ngenhloso yokuluza imali yayo? Ine-staff nayo yonke into.
Ikhona yini mhlambe into esingayisho as uku-educate mhlambe i-public or i-society, because normally into eyenzekayo
the armchair revolutionaries uyibona abaqala bathi hey i-record company yarobha so and so wawayifunda leyo contract, do you even have facts? You know, there would be instances where someone is right and someone is wrong from both sides, but it cannot just be good all the time. I mean, get to uMahlatini died a pauper, right? It's a very sensitive topic. If uMahlatini made 500,000 in the first year or 2 years of his popularity, uMahlatini lived longer than that 500,000. Azange shone ingane, shone sendala.
Njengoba uke wachaza iqala. Yeah.
Mhlawumbe bingasekho lo mali. And i-record company ayinayo never ending basket wemali ugcinile nje ufuna enye hayi nansi. But it must come from somewhere to go into the bank, you know. It's a very difficult.
So kubalekile siphinda mhlambe ngale ndlela besisho ngayo, kubalekile ukuthi umuntu uma engena kwi-industry noma umuntu ethi une talent, but I understand isimo sokusebenza kwendawo angena kuyona noma indlela abazosebenzisana ngayo nekhampani angena kuyona. But then again yena qobo lwakhe kubalekile futhi abe nendlela yokwazi ukumanage ama finances akhe. Lukhona yini usizo ke mhlambe kwi-company la khona ozothi siyabasiza ekuthenini sibenze mhlawumbe ama financial management mhlawumbe into enjengana leyo kwenzeka
angeke ngiqamba manje ngithi we do that, there is a program. We know how much money the artist gets paid every month. We advise them ukuthi remember le mali uyibhekisise le mali, but also go to your banker, your personal finance and who's advisor, to advise you how to use the money. I mean, I remember the soil, when the soil came here, did very well, they're still here. And we told them invest in property. They were buying properties. Ubuhle bendalo, I know she doesn't owe anybody on her property, you know, but they've bought property and all of that. And I think they've serviced their bonds very well, you know. They are lucky, but they know more than what we knew, Tina, in terms of how to handle our finance, our own personal. I don't think I'm the best manager of my own personal finance and all of that, but they have an opportunity to guard their money. I think in a nutshell, we can only do what we can. At the end of the day, lifestyle artist will determine whether that artist is disciplined enough to save him money, you know. But it's a pity, discussion. It is about how artists end up getting into depression because people get into this industry with high expectations and they think they are better than the next person. So if something does not happen on their side, they think that they compensate that with other things. Some of them do really get affected emotionally and mentally. And it's sad. This is all who they are. That's all they know. That's all they want to be. And in the absence of that, what other option do you have? That's why they go into depression. And are there solutions? The social workers are there and that must talk to the artists. Maybe, Tina, as record companies, we need to make sure that when you've got artists that are signed, invite the social workers to come and address them, to say, you are getting into an industry that you're going to be so famous, you won't even know what has happened to you. It happens with the soccer players. Tatingane from informal settlements, John Dole, talented. The next thing is a big soccer player who holy mali enzima amachiri naye usewabona ngathi wangathanda yena.
Yeah.
You know? And that thing needs ukuthi umdonse hey ungakhohlwa. Then you hope for the best. And we all do what we are supposed to do. We do our part. The artist does his or her own part. And we also do our part collectively. We meet, you know, Tina, we have meetings with our artist. Now and again, and say, aslanganeni futhi or nawe azocela meeting. Sicela uba ne-meeting ne-management. We've got these ideas and these ideas. Uvele, my wife just had a meeting with the soil now, looking at 2024, you know. My commitment in South Africa is to document our history through music, but I don't want artists as circulator in South Africa only. We need to take the music, see now ngaphandle. That's why I'm at great pains, and I'm going to say this to the camera. I'm at great pains ukubona umculo kaMaskandi ufa phambi kwethu. Ubulawa ama-artist angananokuthi lo mculo lona usuka kuphi phansi emakhaya la umsuka walo mculo nesigqi sakhona ukuthi lo mculo wawudlalwa ngesiginqi insizwa isuka esigodini esithile iyoshela somewhere iyambidlala lesiginqi lezi namhlanje lesiginqi sebengena ngase stage besiphethe ngesandla ne-microphone engapha bemama phezulu bathi DJ play track 3 lapho
ungangeni track 3
udlale wrong udlala futhi ngithe track 3
audience ilendile la
bawubulela umculo and ngiyabatshela namanje ukuthi lungisani lento ngoba lo mculo niyawubulala le ndaba yokumayima asiyazi thina. Okwesibili nisiphuca amathuba omsebenzi ama-musicians esasiwazi omaqhuda ababedlala i-bass guitar obani ababedlala lama-artists awanamsebenzi ngoba anibabiza abasezi e-studio ukuthi abasezi e-stage bezosebenza
kushawa ama-beat kuphela
kushawa ama-beat kuphela. Umaqhuda ushonile mhlawumbe ulawe i-depression ukuthi I used to be maqhude mina bengifunwa ngapha nangapha kuthiwa ngizoperforma namhlanje ngisakwazi ngisukondla umndane wami ngoba akekho umuntu ongifunayo ukuthi ngizodlala isiginqi bayamama. I can't take those artists abroad ngoba lapha eGermany bazobethi yini le, eFrance bazothi yini le, thina sifuna ukubona ama-artists edlala
live performance.
West Africans they've got it, bawubambile umculo wabo kanje, whether ama-Malians or Senegalese or Nigerians or Ghanaians and all of that, umculo wakhona they respect umculo wokhokho babo.
Nalabantu Jobe noma singagadli kubantu but nalabantu abenza imicimbi mhlambe yokuhlonipha abantu abenza imculo yesintu mhlambe nabo baneqhaza okumele balibambe uqhuquze makusuka umculo wesintu impela mawukuthiwa mawuphile ake kubonakale nabo bekuphilisa kungakujabuleli inamba.
Ngicela ukutshela mina mangiyabuza ama-artists umngane wami uKhuzani yini lento enenza stage athi kimi to answer i-question yakho ama-promoter afuna ukukhokha. That's why singakwazi ukwenza i-live. Ngithi but ubani wena ngithi uKhuzani you put your fee and you say mina ngiperforma live nansi backline nansi i-technical rider yami uthi no but if ngenze njalo i-competitor yami izovela ithi kule promoter don't worry about that mina ngiyeza mina ngizomayina. Kahle what we are seeing on stage today is not a Maskandi music festival. It's a Maskandi dance festival with 8 guys. About 8 mhlawumbe banikwe 300 rand. Bajabulela nje ukuthi ade bese stage ne-artist ethile or banikwe utshwala. Kill it. Bulaleni lo music kulungile. Say I'm done.
Job. Sibonga kakhulu.
Thank you.
Sibonga konke. Thuba lakho sinike lona, isikhathi sakho, na konke osuchazile, ngiyathemba ukuthi abantu bazwile, bazuzile futhi. In life sikhuluma njengoba zinjalo sikhuluma konke kuyikona ngalendlela le esikhuluma ngako uzwele kuningi ukuchazile udokotela uSipho Sithole. Ngicabanga ukuthi okuningi kuzowushintsha indlela ebesicabanga ngayo singabantu nangendlela ebesibuka ngayo ikwenzeka kwezinto. Ngiyazi kasinganxanye singemanzi, abanye bazokhuluma abakuthandayo, abanye baphikise ngendlela baphikisa ngayo, kodwa kukuwena ukuyikhethela ukuthi kuphi okubona kufanelekile.